Hi, this is Mike Sandoval with M.U.S.E, and we are here at RiotVan Productions in North Hollywood to interview one of the newest bands, local band actually, from Southern California, Ruby Tooth.
Hi, I'm Seth.
I'm Scott.
And I'm George.
And we are Ruby Tooth along with Adon and Taylor, who couldn't make it here tonight. Yeah.
So, how did you guys get started?
We actually got started right when me and Scott were on the end of college, actually. We had thrown around the idea of being in a band for a while, and Scott had mentioned that he was writing songs. I thought that was pretty dope. We started getting some shit together, actually in his garage, I think that month. And then we just kind of gathered people. We actually found George on a Craigslist ad.
Yeah. I saw their ad on the talent and gigs part of the LA Craigslist, and I just sent him an email and then sent him like a little sample of like stuff I've worked on before, and then Scott got back to me and then gave me the address to his house, and I was hoping I wasn't gonna get skinned alive or something. But no, it turned out good, and we wrote one of our first songs like that night. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And actually, Adon we found through a mutual friend of ours, and then Taylor we actually found later, but both of us had gone to college with him. So we just kind of all bonded together, and it's been this lineup, I think, for about
a year.
Yeah, about a year now. So there you go.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys are working on a new album. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, do you want to talk about...
We're not going to disclose any of that to the public.
Oh, snap.
I'm kidding.
It's very top secret.
Yeah, so... this album is going to be really cool. It's a concept album about cycles of relationships, how that keeps repeating. It's going to be... We're kind of working on names. We're thinking either Goodbye Universe or Heart Seasons. That ties into the theme a little bit better.
Maybe we can have like a semicolon in there.
Yeah, we might have like a slash or like a secret title thing like they have on that one Radiohead album.
Oh,
like
that
one with,
was
Wolf Like Me. No. Wolf at the Door. There we go.
Yeah. I think that wasn't in Rainbows. Anyway.
No. Held to the Thief.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
It's my favorite Radiohead album. I should know the name.
Yeah. We've actually, right now we've been actually pretty hard at work on doing a single and a B-side, which are going to come off of that album. We chose Middle Name and Heart Drive. Heart Drive is going to be the single, and then Middle Name's going to be the B-side. And we actually just finished recording all of them and making them sound really crispy. And we're actually doing artwork right now, and it should be out in a couple of weeks or so, if all goes according to plan.
Yep. And that'll be up on the website. It's rubytoothband.com. We have a lot of other stuff on there, like blogs, upcoming shows. I think we have one at Skinny's coming up. We're working on that in the next month. And then we're also working on music videos for one of the singles.
Yeah.
For Heart Drive.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get a lyric video up for it, and then we're working on an actual music video that we won't say too much about, but suffice to say, it will be very bouncy. I think that's pretty much the basic plan.
It's got bounce.
Yeah, it's kind of boppy,
It'll be very clean.
Yes.
The fabric softener.
Yes, exactly.
Downy fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been playing a lot around LA. I mean, what has the reception been towards your music? I have seen a growth.
Yeah. Reception's been pretty positive. I think a lot of what that has to do with is our own energy that we put into our shows. I remember the first one of the earlier shows we did actually. At least one of the earlier ones we did with this lineup was supposed to be... It's pretty much a really long story, but we were supposed to do the show at Molly Malone's, which was... I don't even remember when it was.
So the deal was, like, some other band was like, "Hey, LOL, we're bookers. Yeah, you want to be on this show at Molly Malone's?" And we were like, "Oh, hell yeah, that sounds great."
Fuck yeah, dude.
So, we roll on down to Molly Malone's, and these nincompoops had booked a different Molly Malone's,
Which we didn't even know existed.
which we
actually.
had no idea was on the face of the planet. And so we were like, all right, well, what the heck do we do? So,
Yeah. So at that
Seth-
point,
Seth has been working at LACMA.
Yeah,
So-
and I work at LACMA, and at that point I was like, you know what? People perform outside the streetlights all the time. We should just set that up and like make a show so all these people that came out to see us, they don't have to pay for it because they drove all the way out here, and B, we can like, play on the streets and everything. And we just like found a power outlet and set it all up, and the security guard said it was cool. And we got a whole lot of attention for that, and people were really receptive. We actually had a couple actually come to one of our shows after that who said that they had seen us performing on the street.
on their first date, and they came back to another show for like their third anniversary, like their third month anniversary or something.
Yeah, third
6 month.
third fortnight anniversary. It's pretty special.
One of those
memories.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of times, that's kind of how we judge our success, is if we can go into a place, even if we don't bring a lot of fans or whatever, if there's like people in the bar and they like our music, if we kind of can win over that bar, then we can have a feeling we have something good going, and that's kind of what's led to where we are right now.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like a lot of bands tend to shy away from dive bars, but we kind of seem to thrive in those environments, just because the
Rive bars.
right? But yeah, like the setting is really intimate and small, and so it gives us a real chance for our show to really play off of the audience a lot better, which is I found has worked really, really well for us.
And we usually have drinks with them before or after too, so
And-
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, before, after, and during actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much.
Scott's in there like with the person in the audience, just doing the little interlocking arm drink while he's singing.
Oh
Yeah.
well, sometimes it makes it easier to sing.
Friendship.
Yeah.
So, when you first started the band, what was your influences? What were you listening to? What kind of sound were you looking for when you first put everything together?
All kinds of stuff. I mean, I personally come from kind of like a punk metal background, but I play violin, so there you go. I really like Modest Mouse a lot. Me and Scott both really like Los Campesinos. They're Welsh, right? They're this Welsh band.
They assembled in Wales, but they're
Okay.
really from different parts of England and Scotland, I think.
Right.
Maybe Scotland, mostly England.
It's like
Yeah.
super European friends of music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they particularly have a sound that's really similar to us, and they also have a strong violin presence, which I think is kind of what, when I was writing my violin parts for the song, that's kind of what I thought of. But also, I mean, Modest Mouse is really big. I know that we all really like Weezer,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And growing up, I just listened to a lot of like Weezer, Foo Fighters, Stone Temple Pilots, Queen's
Yeah.
Stage, just like the '90s alt rock. That's kind of how I learned how to play. So I always like riff heavy stuff. So that's kind of where my influences come from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I was always real into nice production quality. So my interests are usually like from the 2000s. So I really liked Super Furry Animals for a long time. I'm a really big fan of the Arcade Fire and Los Campesinos, of course, but really like Frightened Rabbit. Like they just have like amazing lyrics and all that. They sound great too, of course.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think a lot of what makes our band unique is that we have a lot of these kind of like alt rock influences, but then we also have kind of like a heavier side that we all kind of share and appreciate, which kind of turns us into punk, because that's kind of like the intermediary between like extreme metal and extreme alt rock. If you can have like an extreme alt rock, I kind of realize that's a weird term, but
Yeah, I kind of realized that too. Like when we all started practicing and stuff, when all of our songs started to get a lot fuller and heavier, you know, started feeling like real rock. And before they're kind of like, they're fun, but they're really kind of fast paced, just one and done. And now we kind of like slow it down.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like we like Weezer, and we like like Frightened Rabbit, but then we also like bands like the Blood Brothers and like, you know, really intense, really
Lightning Bolt.
yeah, Lightning Bolt, like really aggressive bands. And I like the energy and I like a lot of the vibe that comes with those kind of bands, and I think that translates well into what we're doing. Because we do catchy poppy hooks, but then we also have like a lot of like energy and a lot of force in there, and I think that's what's really kind of making us stand out.
Well, to mention with the fiddle, which we've talked about,
Yeah.
not too many bands have fiddle players in their band. I think the only one I know of and I've seen was Yellowcard.
Yeah.
So what was the influence of bringing in the fiddle into the band to give it because it does give it a unique and different sound.
Yeah, well, what was funny is that originally we were talking about me playing drums for the band.
Right, yeah, because he plays drums in a couple other bands.
Yeah.
So, but we, I knew that his first instrument was violin.
Mhm.
So, I was kind of hoping that he would do some violin, but we didn't have anybody else to play drums in the beginning. So,
Yeah.
he just like came up to me. He's like, "Oh my god, I really want to play fiddle. I will fucking find somebody to play drums." If
we were looking
you
into
can,
cloning, but our
yeah,
budget was
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's a little tight sometimes.
We'll
but,
probably look into cloning once we get more fan base and once we get a larger following for our second album release. We'll probably look into the cloning thing.
or 3D
Yeah.
printing.
Oh yeah, we
Have
can
like a
3D
leg-
print me. That'd be
Lego
great.
set drum.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my background on violin, I started playing when I was 8, and I played a lot of like symphony. Like I would play a lot of classical music, and that was where a lot of my technical ability comes from. But growing up in Eugene, Oregon, which is where I come from, there was a really big underground punk scene there, and that was where I got my love of punk. And when I realized there was that point in my life where I realized, oh wait, you can like play a classical instrument but play it punk, because there's like folk bands, there's like Charlie Daniels and all those awesome country fiddle players, which is great, but then there's like bands like Yellowcard and Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly where they also have these really great violin parts.
Kiss Kiss.
Yeah, and this
Oh,
band Kiss Kiss,
they're
that is,
amazing.
they're newer, but they have this like kind of gypsy sounding violin player, but they just
Well,
really kick
for
it.
that song, like.
Well, he can do a number of different sounds. It's true.
Or she. I don't know.
Or yeah, I
I've seen
mean,
their videos.
but their fiddle player is really good. If Kiss Kiss ever hears this interview, I'm really sorry. Your fiddle player is awesome. I just straight up don't know their gender right now, but
And
I
would
will
love
know.
to play a show with you.
Yes, or like take lessons from you. Jesus. Anyway, but yeah, a lot of the influence for me, it comes from kind of that desire. I like to think of it as like I'm playing like a lead guitar, except I'm on the violin. Because a lot of the times I'll like harmonize with George, and I try to
Yeah.
do.
I was just about to say that, is that you're good
Yeah.
at knowing when to do the lead parts and then knowing when to kind of bring it back into the song. And then
Yeah.
it kind of turns into like a soundtrack feel almost.
Yeah, I mean that's what adds so much, and that's what you can do with the violin, which I think is really cool. Is that you can simultaneously be a lead instrument and a backing instrument, which is awesome. You can do that with guitar too, but with violin it adds so much of like a symphonic feel to
The
it.
change is more noticeable.
Yeah, and it makes it sound very full, which is cool. The other thing is that I actually use a 5-string violin, which is also kind of unusual. But the 5-string has a lower C string on it, which it adds a lot of that kind of lower bottom feel to it, which is really cool. Like when you're doing backup, or when you're doing like a dramatic part and you want to like cut out other things, but then you still kind of want to have something that sounds sort of like a cello, but like something low and stringy. I can do that. And yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, other than the fact that I just love playing violin because I can move around on stage.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most fun, because, being a drummer, it's like, you can move around all you want, but you're kind of still on a throne, whereas, like, with a fiddle, I've, like, jumped into the crowd before, and I've done all kinds of stuff on stage, and that's been super liberating for me.
Jump up on things.
And jump on things, yeah, just as a musician. I actually, there was a show that we played. Oh, is that Infusion Lounge? Is that what the place is called? With like the yeah. There was a show where I was wearing this one pair of ripped jeans, and there was these huge, the monitors are gigantic there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, and it's like really, really, it's a really awesome place to stand on because you're like towering over everybody, especially for Scott because he's already like 6 something. And so I was like, well, hell, he's getting up there, I should too. And so I got up there, but I made a single step up, and I freaking tore my pants like from like crotch leg to crotch leg, and it was kind of
It's like the mail slot.
exactly it was. But you know what? I was still happy after that show because A, no one saw it, and B, I was still able to just like jump up on a thing and just fiddle my heart out.
Didn't fall.
Yeah, and I didn't fall, which was also a plus. So.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sitting with us today. Let us know again about your album. Or when does it come out?
Yeah, well, just to let you know, the album, the full album we are still working on. The single and the B-side, though, is going to be coming out probably the week of October 15th. That's what we're shooting for.
And that's the one that we did with RiotVan Productions.
Yeah, RiotVan were the guys that worked on it. They did a really, really fantastic job. You guys will absolutely hear the job that they did. It really made a difference in how we sound. But yeah, that's coming out. We have some music videos and stuff coming out too. Just check our website, which is rubytoothband.com. We have lots of updates. We're very excited about updating it, so I'll keep you posted for sure.
Yeah, and we just want to do a shout out to everyone who made the recordings possible.
Oh yeah, dude.
Omer, Adam, and then everybody who helped fund it. So
Yeah, those guys deserve a lot of the credit, so thank you.
Once again, we'd like to thank the band Ruby Tooth for joining us and meeting with us. Don't forget to check out the website, rubytoothband.com, to check out the show dates, new album coming up this month. And we'll let you know more information at who'syourmuse.com. Thank you very much for watching.
Tell me something that I would like to hear. Tell me something, I'm waiting with expectant open ears. Tell me something, your sideways glance rests on the chandelier. Tell you something, I love you. Know that it's okay, I can't look the other way. I understand, let's pay exponential decay. Like your results play boop 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 beep boop boop. I am a robot, I now live another day. Heart drive, that's where my feelings are. My heart drive, remove the memory. My heart drive.